Hey, Cinders,
Hey, T-Dog, what's happening?
the Blues are playing finals football, mate.
That's right. They are. How exciting.
What a
You know,
time.
it's even more exciting.
The Giants are also playing finals.
I think they're going to revoke my Eagles card. All these Eagles fans have no idea the betrayal.
I think it ended up being a win-win for everybody. Because
You
I
know
didn't
what?
want the
You're right.
Dogs to play finals.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think it made the finals that much better. It'll be more
Yeah.
exciting, right?
Well, I'm petty, and I remember everything.
Yeah.
And last year when we played the Pies in the last game of the season, the Dogs needed Collingwood to win. So there's a video that circulated of all the players celebrating that Carlton had lost. So maybe they can watch in their living rooms.
Revenge.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean,
don't
I
forget.
like a story. I like the story of it. It's a little bit of like a fairy tale, right? They started off terrible and then something happened, clicked, and then it's just been, they had one little misstep, but they've just been chugging along and then here they are. They're in the finals. So I like that element of it. Makes me happy. And as I texted you earlier, Toby, what did Toby say? If you can pick any of these all Australians, who do you want to play with? Your boy.
That actually reminds me.
Yeah.
I need to put a photo up
Yeah.
on screen. I should have done it earlier. I wasn't organized. I'm going to get a
Yeah.
photo as we talk throughout this episode.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I can do it now. Maybe I can walk and talk. Tell me about Toby Green, because I love him. But
Yeah.
he's such a little prick, and I think that's why I love him.
I mean, but is he still a prick? I think he's grown up. We talked about this before. I think he's a tough kid. Like, look, all these guys are tough in terms of like, they can take a beating. They're good athletes, all that stuff. But, certain people have a little extra oomph or a little attitude or whatever that killer instinct is. And I think it's him. I don't know if it's his upbringing. I don't know if he has, a chip on his shoulder from childhood. I mean, we're not here to psychoanalyze him, but
Psychoanalyzing. I like it.
but I think, he's so he got his eye gouged, right, by your guy, right?
No.
And he didn't even flinch. He was just I'll take it. You know what I mean? So it's like he's tough. You do not want to fight with him. It will end badly, I think is my thought on that,
He's a finals footballer. That's what he is.
Yeah.
This is the photo. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Bring it. Oh, I saw that. That's adorable. I'm going to frame that.
It's just
I
the
love
two
it.
best friends that anyone could have.
Oh, it's so sweet. It's like us.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
By the way, apparently you're in love with me. I saw some comment on YouTube that, her again.
Oh,
Yeah, it's me. Get used to it, baby.
get used to it. You ain't going anywhere.
Oh my God. Do people understand what we're doing here? Like, do they get the gist of this new experiment? You don't know?
I
You
think
don't care?
you just kind of, it doesn't. I think people just enjoy watching people talk about football. And also I like the angle that you bring. You bring your side of perspective, and
Yeah.
I think it just works well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't, want to please the people, but at the same time, we need to please ourselves, right?
Well, I think we just need to be authentic, and
Okay.
the rest will just take care of itself.
Take care of itself. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then one day when you're invited to the Brownlow Medal,
Dreams.
that's where you start with a dream, Cindy, and then we work our way up from there.
Oh my God. What shall we talk about today?
Well, let's start with what's on the top of your mind. Let's start there. top of funnel, top of mind?
Well, I mean, not to go on and on about it, but it looks like Simo's going to stick around for another couple years, right? Which
Yes.
I'm pleased with, actually. I wasn't sure how I felt earlier, but I think it was a good call. I think it's going to be good.
I think it's a unique call in the industry because we are
Yeah.
so used to team gets to the bottom, or they kind of get to the end of the cycle of their glory period, and then
Yeah.
they just go with a new coach and start again. Whereas,
Yeah.
kind of, I mean, I don't know enough about the Eagles to have a really good opinion on this, but
Yeah.
I like from the outside looking in that they're sticking with him, and it's a long road back. So he's got the most familiarity with the club to help him get there.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because, what is his name? Kane Corns was like, he's out by next week. This was like 5 or 6 weeks ago. And then the announcement came, and I kind of felt like he doubled down. Like, he didn't say, oh, I was wrong or whatever. He was sort of like, this doesn't happen. Like he was like, he couldn't believe it. This doesn't happen. And maybe it doesn't, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe he'll show other people that, it's not just, like, just get rid of people when they hit the bottom, right? Like, give them a chance to redeem themselves. I don't know. Maybe this will be a classic story, you'll be telling your children, remember the day when we thought they were going to fire him and he came back and won finals and no.
It's written in the stars. I like it.
I swear I'm like, I have not been drinking. I'm a little loopy today, but I've not been drinking. I was on hold, just so you know, with the utilities company for 90 minutes prior to jumping on this with you. I literally thought, I was like, you know what? I might actually have to like end this 90-minute hold to talk to Terry. I was praying, please God, let them answer, and they finally did. So I was like, yay, but man, it's rough over here.
It is.
Municipal companies. So yeah, that was on my mind. And oh shoot, I'm getting a phone call from my friend. She's in Tampa, and they just got hit with a hurricane. But I'm gonna hang up on her.
She could have really needed you.
She's like, help!
Sorry, we're talking about how to rebuild
Sorry,
the Eagles.
Raven.
and fix the Eagles.
God. Talking footy, man. Oh God.
Where are you? Because week to week things seem to change in the footy landscape.
Yeah.
Where are you on pick one stakes?
Okay, so this is going to be, I think, the first year that I've really paid attention to the draft. Like, I don't think I've ever really cared. But I think we have discussed this previously. Like, I'm not like a Harley Reid or bust kind of girl. I don't know that he's the right guy for the club, and I know other people much smarter than I have said, anybody in the top 10, they're going to be fantastic players, right? If they're in the top 10. So I know there's another guy, what's his name? Dan? There's a Western Australian guy who is interesting that could be for the Eagles. But yeah, I don't know. But now I'm excited to kind of get into it because, I'm so invested now. What's going to happen.
Well, draft period, trade period.
Yeah.
This is a role reversal because I'm so used to getting to this point in the year and thinking, okay, who are we going to trade in? Who are our targets? We cover the trade period and the draft period extensively.
Yeah.
And so good to watch other people talking about trade rumors.
Right. But what about your boy? Did Silvani get his deal yet or no? I heard some rumblings yesterday, but I wasn't really paying attention. It was just sort of the idea that he could leave, but that it would be unlikely that he would do that.
No deal yet. I just feel like with all of these situations, it all just comes to this point, And then when
Yeah.
it's all said and done, there's no way he's leaving. It just they'll figure it out. Like they'll just get to some point,
They'll make it work.
and it's about legacy.
Yeah.
And also, who in their right mind would want to leave Carlton now? You know,
Good point. That's right. Good point. You guys look like whatever happens in the next few weeks or not, you look like you're on the road to greatness. Having a great next season, provided everybody stays healthy and all that good stuff. But you could have the. I always think of it as like it was a war when the Eagles lost like 23 players in one game. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but seriously, it was 7, right? So provided that doesn't happen, you should be good.
should be good. Should be good. So yeah, that's kind of trade period, draft period. It's a funny time because it's.
Is there anyone leaving from you guys that you know of, or that you're expecting might not be around, or that you're not, dare I say, too worried about leaving?
So the names that have been floated as potentially leaving are, I would say, Paddy Dow, Zach Fisher, and Lockie O'Brien. So
all right.
Where I stand is Fisher should not be leaving. He's contracted to the end of next year. He's almost started to assume the role of every team's got a whipping boy.
Yeah.
And there's a little element that started to creep in with him, I think, because his performances were a little down. But
yeah.
I think Fisher's the best of all three. I think he should stay. Dow hasn't had a lot of opportunities, so he may want to go somewhere else and play. But at the same time, he's really earned his spot, and I think he wants to be here for the long run. And then Lockie O'Brien, that's the one I'm a bit concerned he will leave. He is contracted, but we have Ollie Hollins this year who just birthed onto the scene.
Yeah.
We've got another kid, Jackson Binns, who hasn't played yet, but he's a winger. And then next year, this actually ties into my next question. Next year, we've got the Campriali twins. Now,
twins. I love twins.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the father-son rule?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you school me exactly? I think I know what it is. It sounds like a legacy thing, like with colleges. Like if the father is in, then they automatically get the son in. Is that it?
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It's if you play 100 games.
Okay. One
of the unique parts of the sport is when you play 100 games, if you have a child, the club has like first dibs on the son. So Nick Dacos, for example, was picked 1, his best player in the draft, but because he was under the father-son rule, Collingwood had the right to get him if they gave up a certain amount of draft points and things of that nature. So
you can't just get it. You have to give something up too.
You have to.
It's like an option. You're exercising an option.
Exactly.
Okay.
So Collingwood, finished 17th, and then get Nick Dacos.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah. Now the Campriali boys, Scott Campriali played for Carlton, and usually you have one child that'll come through in the next generation, but they're twins, so we have dibs on both of them.
So you can take both of them.
Yep.
You don't have to choose. There's no Sophie's choice here.
No, you just got to make sure you pay the fee, but you get dibs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what happens now. Now I'm, another story to watch.
Yes. So
that's have to keep reporting back.
Yeah. I did some research. I don't know when to do this with you, but you gave me some homework last week.
I did?
Yeah, the Falcon.
What I did? Oh, yeah. Explain.
I found the story. I found the story.
Okay, tell me.
So the story goes, this is the story. Where are we? Okay, so.
Are you going to put music on in the background and make it like a fairy tale?
No. So it actually originates in a rugby environment, not an Aussie rules environment.
Okay. All right.
The expression is linked to former Rabbitohs, which is a rugby team. Captain Mario Fennick. He was born in Malta, He was nicknamed the Maltese Falcon, presumably a reference to the celebrated 1930s novel and
Okay.
40s film of the same name.
All right.
So the incident from which the saying originated was both unspectacular and involuntary, and had it not been for the cheekiness and the persistence of Kevin Walters, the original footage of the event back in '95 may have been consigned to the floor of the TV editor's suite. So what happened was,
All right.
while playing for the Brisbane-based Crushers in their inaugural season, an injured Fenwick was gingerly making his way off the field when he walked between dummy half Ray Herring and intended Crushers kicker. So I'm giving you other references that are not relevant, but two people. In what was at worst a clumsy piece of play, the ball hit Fenwick on the head and typified a forgettable performance in that match. It was then announced that was called a Falcon. And that spread into the AFL.
Like wildfire.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I didn't know that story.
Well,
I just,
We're here to educate.
Yeah. We are.
Oh God, that's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I actually finally got a hold of my friend, and he told me some funny NFL terms, and I didn't write them down. So I'll have to get back to you on it. I was like, what?
I brought some funny terms with me.
Great.
I went deep. I went deep into the research.
Bring it.
I'll bring you some. Do you want some? All right.
Bring it.
What would I be talking about if I said to you, if I referenced the collie wobbles?
Oh, wait, I know this. I talked about this. Collie wobbles. Shoot. I think I talked about this in an episode, and now I'm drawing a blank. Tell me. It has to do with Collingwood.
It's the term coined to describe Collingwood's failure in the finals between, well, really just forever. Between 1958 and 1990, including 8 grand final losses and 1 draw.
Ooh, painful.
So we are in September, which means the pies start wobbling and they start faltering, and it's glorious. Cindy, it's glorious. And they fall apart. It's the best. It's like...
I mean, honestly, I felt pretty confident early on about the finals, but now I feel like anything can happen. And that's a great... Well, it's not great if you're really invested in your team. But, I would say if you're in the bottom 4, it's great, because then you feel like, oh, I could possibly get in. But I don't know. I think it's exciting.
It is exciting.
Collie wobbles.
Yep.
I love it.
Wobble.
You know what I learned finally?
Yeah.
Crom. I was like, what the hell is a crom?
Like Crom? Like Adelaide?
The Adelaide Crom. Do you know why they're the Crom?
It's actually come from social media. It was like
a mistake. It was a mistake. Yeah. Somebody that's insane. And everybody uses it. I was like, Crom? And then new friend finally told me what it meant, Yeah. I know what a pear is now. I know what a crom is. I know what a collywobble. I am totally learning.
What is a bread basket?
I don't know. Can I phone a friend?
Yeah. It's a body part of a player.
Is it dirty?
No.
Oh, they're ribs?
Yeah.
No?
Kind of. It's the stomach.
The stomach.
Yes. So sometimes you'll see them mark the ball like this.
Yeah.
Into the bread basket. Catching the bread.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Can wrap my head around that one. Mm-hmm. I have another one for you that I need answers, people.
Yeah.
It's similar to when I asked about a soda, a cider. A cider. And you know who says it? I'll tell you who says it. Dwayne
Dwayne
Russell says, "Oh, another cider," and I'm thinking it means a behind, but it's kind of weird. Like sometimes the way it's used in a sentence might not be like, "Oh, he was shooting on goal and he got a cider." That would make sense, but sometimes it's like, I don't know. So if anyone out there can help me, let me know.
Is it cider or is it sitter?
Sounds like cider, like with a D. Sitter.
'Cause, like,
no, it's not sitter.
You can kick a soda,
Yeah.
or you can drop a sitter or miss a sitter. A sitter is like
It's coming right at you, right? It's like,
Well, a sitter's like really easy, like a really easy play. So you
Right.
drop the ball, easy mark, you drop it. Oh, you dropped a sitter.
okay.
Or
Like
you
no
kick-
effort required to catch that ball.
Correct.
Sitter. Okay.
A soda, a cider.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody out
Cider.
there has to know. You guys help us out.
Cider.
A cider. Maybe it's another West Coast thing. I don't
Maybe.
know. Yeah.
Maybe.
Any others? Do you have any other good ones?
What is if I'm giving you a spray, what am I giving you?
Oh, you're yelling at. You're being yelled at,
Well done.
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Pass the
I know
test.
that one.
Pass the weekly test.
Yeah. I mean, and that has a great visual with it too. Just in your face, right?
There was something we wanted to talk about last week, which we didn't really go into, but I am curious to get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
Tagging.
Love it. All for it. Let's do it.
What do you think about tagging?
I think it's effective, right? I think the big, sorry, I'm looking down at my notes, because I wrote this down. So I think the whole thing was why I wanted to talk about it is because Finn McGuinness was tagging Josh Dacos, and he was tagging Clayton Oliver. That's right. And then Simon Goodwin like threw a temper tantrum or something, saying it's not fair. He tagged him, blah 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 blah. But my understanding is that tagging has been done since the beginning of football, and it makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you try to stop the most effective player on the field? So why is it unfair? If you're good enough to get a tag, you should be good enough to figure out how to break a tag, right?
Yep. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I actually thought it was a sign of weakness from Melbourne that they were complaining about it,
Yeah.
especially going into finals. Like, you don't want to be giving up any sense of what is affecting you. And if you go back even 15 years, there used to be pretty much a designated tagger in each team.
Yeah.
Most teams had a tagger. I think
Yeah.
most teams probably still do if they really want to. But these superstars like, Chris Judd, Nathan Buckley, these types, they were getting tagged every week. It was
Right.
it was just part of the game. And, we've touched on this before. We're a little bit more soft in this day and age.
Yeah, but it wasn't like Simon Goodwin. I'm assuming he was a player, right?
Great player.
All these guys were players. And so he obviously played during the time of all these other people that you're mentioning. So why is he complaining about tagging? Why?
He also used to get tagged. He was
Yeah.
a great player.
Yeah.
At times. So I don't know. I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I feel like if you're getting tagged, it's then incumbent on the team to be a team and either help the player get out of the tag, or person
Yeah.
getting tagged, go put yourself in a dangerous position to nullify the tag. Like,
You
take
just
the
have
tag
to be better.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah,
be
you just
better.
have to play better. That's it, right? So yeah, I'm all for it. There was something else. Oh, okay. So we neglected to talk about the last kick, or not the last kick, but the touch ball, not touch ball, Adelaide Melbourne game, right?
Yeah.
We did not talk about that. And obviously after the review, it was like, all right, well, and I can't even think, was it they did touch the ball? They did not touch the ball, right? It was a goal.
It was
Right?
a goal. They didn't
Yeah.
use the technology that they had available to overrule the decision.
Right. So how about this? What if you got rid of the touch ball? What if it's a goal if it crosses the line, and it's a goal if it hits the post and comes back in, it's in play? I mean, isn't that how it is in soccer?
Oh, you mean no? Well, the ball went through. That's the thing. It went
Right,
through
but
the
if there was
stick.
no touch, right? If they weren't worried about whether it got touched before it crossed the line,
Yep.
wouldn't have been an issue. It would have been a goal. So why don't you get rid of the touch rule on the line? And if
Well,
it
because
goes in, it goes in.
What's the defender's incentive to touch it and punch it? You know?
Well, they can try to stop it still, but not
Oh, you
necessarily.
mean like they should try and tap it back into play instead of tapping
Or
it?
catch it or something, but I don't know. It seems really complicated. Like, so what if it grazes the post? Why isn't it a goal?
It's a good point.
I mean,
It's a good point.
am I wrong? Isn't that how it is in soccer?
Yes,
as
and
long as it crosses
also-
the line and gets in the net, that's it.
Yep. And also in Gaelic football, I'm pretty sure I got this right. Or maybe it's the NFL. Like if the ball hits the post and goes through the sticks, even though it's hit the post, it still counts as the score, right?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Oh my God. I talked to my friend yesterday, and he's a big college football person, and he was asking me, like, so when's Miami's first game? And I'm like, what? Oh,
Hello
yeah,
and
that's
welcome
right.
to NFL Abroad.
It's like next week, apparently, my team. So check this out. So my college team, Miami Hurricanes, there's this other place called Miami University in Ohio. I didn't know that for the longest time, right? It's like, and they're just totally different levels of football. But anyway, they're playing each other, and I have to see if that's like historic. But I've never seen Miami play Miami in a game, and that's next week. And luckily, there's no football, which brings me to another question for you. Why don't you guys have the bye before the grand final? Why?
Why would we?
Because, okay, you're coming on all this momentum. Everybody's just hustling. And then they're like, ugh, all right, we're going to stop for a week. I think everyone should keep going. And then when you get to the last two teams, you have the bye, like we do for the Super Bowl. And it gives those two teams ample time to prepare for the grand final. And then we have our game. It just seems disruptive to have it. Sorry, it seems disruptive to have it now.
I'm not opposed to the idea, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I'm not opposed. I think the pre-finals bye gives all teams in the finals that same advantage, because by this point in the year, everyone's really sore,
Yeah.
like super sore. And there are certain teams that have players who are going to be more advantaged by the bye. I actually think Carlton is one of those teams. We have
Yeah.
a few players that are like just coming back from injury or might need an extra break. But yeah, I don't know. I think what they do, I don't know when, I don't know what the right answer is. I'm not opposed to it. I just think it probably gives all the teams in the finals a bit of a rest to make the final series
Okay,
better,
but
as
let me
opposed
ask
to
you
the
this.
grand
So
final.
during the bye in the middle of the season, isn't it like notorious that everybody loses when they come back from their bye? Like, isn't that a thing, or am I mistaken?
Well, it was a thing this year, except for one team. Guess who?
You guys, right? Yeah. No, so I wonder, does it translate to? Have you noticed, or have you heard anyone speak on this? Does the bye mess with the teams? Well, I guess no, because everybody's on a bye. It's different because it's staggered, right?
It's
Okay.
staggered. It's not like, yeah, we have a staggered bye during the year where over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, different teams will have the bye. Whereas,
Okay.
yeah, this time
I get
everyone's
it.
having
So
the
it's
rest.
everyone's
So,
on the same. Everyone's, so if they're all going to fall apart, they're all going to fall apart, or they're all going to succeed. Like it's yeah. Okay. There's not
Exactly.
one team that's having the momentum.
yeah,
All right. Maybe I'll reconsider my thoughts on that, but
yeah. Well, we'll chat next week or
okay.
after. Well, next week will be still no finals played.
No.
The week after, we will have the round 1 of finals. Oh,
Yes.
I could be so happy or so devastated. My demeanor would be so different either way.
I know. I think we're both gonna have those feelings. We're gonna either both be very happy or very sad. We'll see. I got somebody though who said it's now time to declare my allegiance to Port Adelaide. I said, go ahead and declare it now. I said, I'll get back to you in about 4 weeks. Let you know. I know. I just kind of, we'll see who I love at the end of the, who's holding the.
Then
an asshole.
We'll make a decision. Well, speaking of the finals, what's your perception? Who's going to win it? Who do you think?
I don't know, Terry. I don't know. I mean, how about a GWS Carlton grand final? Pretty good.
Carlton grand final. I would love that. I don't think
Let's do it.
No, we can. That can happen technically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're playing. They're each playing. You're playing. Who do you put? You're playing the Swans, and they're playing St. Kilda.
Yep.
So, and then they go. I'm imagining the thing. It goes that way, right?
They're on either side of the bracket.
Yeah.
And then we would eventually meet. In the grand final, but it would be remarkable if 2 teams outside of the top 4 made the grand final.
Never happened. I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't think so.
I don't know if has anyone in the bottom 4. I remember watching one of the shows about it, and I don't remember if there was it was low. I think the percentage that anyone in the bottom 4 actually wins the grand final.
Correct.
Do you have facts on that?
It's very low. I think the last team to do it was the Western Bulldogs in 2016.
Oh, this is that year everyone's talking about.
Yes, they were young, up and coming. Bontempelli was very young, these types, and they just got on a run at the right time. You could maybe make an argument that Carlton is doing a similar run because I don't know. Who's the form team of the competition in the last month, in your eyes?
You guys are. Right? Is that the right answer? In fact, I said it. I said it this week.
Yeah.
I did say it. No, I mean, you guys have been on fire. So, and as we have discussed, if you're going to lose a game, last week was the game to lose because it was of no consequence ultimately. You guys were going to stay in 5th no matter what. You weren't, going to get bumped in the top 4. So, if you're going to lose one, that's the one to lose. And now you can move forward and hopefully, because, streaks are hard, right? I mean, the fact that Port Adelaide had a 13-game streak is kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Even Collingwood, they know their streak came to an end. So, you had 9, right? 9 in total. And,
9's great.
Yeah. And then now you can start a new streak. Why not? I'd like to see it.
Got to rest Cripps as well. That was a big deal.
Yeah. How do you feel though? Do you feel the game would have been significantly different if he was in it this last week?
To be honest, no.
Yeah. No.
It was I mean, when you're playing when 2 people are competing and one needs to win to stay alive and one doesn't, I think there's always going to be a difference in desperation. Right. So I think the Giants they just had too much to play for. Now, having said that, rewind last year when we played Collingwood in the last game, we were do or die, and Collingwood didn't have much to play for, but they still beat us. So I don't know if the theory works all the time, but the Giants, mate, fair play to the Giants. Just hungry.
So let me ask you, this is what we could probably talk about this more another time, but so regardless of who is in the grand final, what's your normal routine for the grand final? I'm guessing that if Carlton is in the grand final, you will be at the game. You will have that opportunity, right?
Yes.
Because you're a member. But if Carlton is not in the grand final, then what does the grand final look like for you? How do you watch or celebrate or?
Right. So So there will be many barbecues at houses. So I
Okay.
sometimes do that. I might go to a friend's house and we'll have a barbecue and make a day of it.
Yeah.
Or I will go to a pub somewhere that's showing it with some friends, and there'll be a lot of people there, and we'll just watch it.
Yeah.
I have never been to a grand final. I've refused to go to a grand final until Carlton are in
Oh,
it.
wow. So there's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
at stake. Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
the
yeah,
pressure.
yeah. It's like,
Oh my God.
yeah. People think it's weird, but I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you got your principles, like stick to it. I mean,
It's like,
it'll be a big payoff when you finally get it, right?
yeah, it's like keeping my grand final virginity until we're there, until we're
Right.
married.
Oh my God. You know, they have usually here they have like a couple places around town that'll have grand final parties. So quite often we'll try to find one of those. And there used to be some really good ones, but I think the last I mean, well, it's been COVID, so we haven't gone out. Everybody's getting COVID again, by the way. Are you guys getting COVID? Like, is it
No,
going
no.
through the town again or no?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm a little bit of a recluse, though. I kind of.
Everywhere I turn, I start wearing my mask again. It's like, oh my
What?
God. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's like, I mean, I don't think people are dropping dead or anything, which is great, but like, I know like 10 people right now that have COVID.
They'll be
So,
right. Oh,
yeah, but I don't want to get it.
what? What? Just a
Yeah.
quick question about slang. What would I be referring to if I said to you, Cindy, you
Hmm.
need to have a teaspoon of cement,
A teaspoon of cement.
which will tie into what you just said about COVID.
Teaspoon. A teaspoon. So like medicine. Some like hard medicine. Like you need to be like, is that just like being taken out or like really thrown into the, I don't know, outside of the grass? Like, is that teaspoon of
It's like
cement?
you need to harden up. So the people that are getting sick just need a bit of a teaspoon of cement. They'll be right.
Oh, is
That's
that
what I
a
get.
footy thing or is that like
No,
is that a European Australian thing?
it's more of an
Sounds
Australian
a little
thing.
mobster. Oh my God, I love it.
Also,
Yeah.
what's the name of the thing that the Americans do outside of the football stadiums, and they're cooking the barbecues and like it's a
Tailgating.
thing? Tailgating.
Tailgating. It's
Tell me all
awesome.
about that, because I think it's the coolest thing. I've never
It's
done one.
awesome. So yeah, so people who get to park like in the stadium, it's usually that they like, you know, roll up and they pop the back of their, you know, their trunks and, you know, they roll out the coolers and the lawn chairs and they like to hang out and drink beers and have sandwiches. Some of them like bring barbecues, like literally they just like they're going camping basically in the parking lot outside of the stadium. And sometimes there's music, sometimes there's, I mean, you name it, it's there and it's fun. It actually is fun. And you can just kind of walk around before the game. It almost makes it more like a festival, I guess. If I'm thinking of something, it has more of that feel. And then you got to wrap it up and get in to watch the game. Yeah. Tailgate parties.
Is it
It's fun.
is it like is the custom that you can just go to anyone's car and hang out with them? Like, is it a community feel, or is it you just hang out with your people?
I think in general, like in my experience of tailgating, I've mostly hung out with my people, but like sometimes maybe you're walking around and you run into other people that are your people that you didn't even know were there, you know?
I get.
So I've had that at Miami games, like when I've come home, you know, and gone to games and I walk around, I just start running into people I grew up with that I had no idea would be there. So, but I would imagine though, if you're from the same team and you rocked up to someone's car and was like, "Hey, what's up?" Like they'd probably be like, "Hey, come on in, like hang out." But I don't know. I don't know for sure, but it is fun. Tailgating is actually really fun. We have some good stuff. Like, you know, I wish you guys had a little bit more of our flair for like the grand final. Like your shows are a little like tired. You guys don't have like the cheerleaders and the dancers, and I think I saw a mascot the other day, and I was shocked. Like, you don't really have mascots either, right?
On game day we do. Yeah, on game
You
day
do?
we do.
What
Yeah,
does a
like
blue
people
look like?
It's
Tell me what a blue looks like.
a blue is it's like what they've done is they've done. I think the female is called Navy Nina. And I
Okay.
think the male is called Captain Carlton, and basically they are just
People?
superheroes.
Oh, okay.
It's like a blue suit covering like face, and you got the monogram in the middle.
Uh-huh.
Navy Nina's got these like really cool eyelashes. They're like butterfly eyelashes, and
All right.
she's just like a vibe.
But it's
The
like a
Carlton-
person. It's not like a character, like a Disney character with like a huge
Correct.
duck head and, okay.
Yeah, correct.
All right.
Like the Dockers have like the big anchor, which is weird.
Yeah.
I think, like Tigers are the Tigers. Yeah. the
Well,
Carlton's a
Tigers
tricky
make
one.
sense. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Tigers are easy. The Demons, that could be easy. The Roos, they could just hop out, Oh, speaking of the Roos, what a game. I
The
can't believe they
Roos.
won.
They're ruse, right?
They won.
Yeah.
And then your mate Clarko was like set the record straight about tanking. He was like, the morale of the team, it's more important for the win. I think you said that last week too. Like, the morale of the team is more important than this BS about tanking.
Yep.
And it was so cool, man. I like those guys. I feel for them. They're they're young. They need their day. They'll get
They'll
their
have
day.
their day. They'll have their day.
Yeah.
Did you watch are you aware of like the AFL Awards, like the All Australian and the MVP and things like that?
I woke up to a lot of cute photos of them in their little like real estate blazers. It reminds me of like old real. I mean, I think they do that in the NFL too. They have those like their jackets, but no, they all looked adorable in their black blazer. They were black, right? Black and gold.
So there's a couple. So I
Yeah.
think they all arrived to the awards night in the black tuxedo or blazer.
Okay.
And then the All Australian team is like the All NBA first team,
Right.
but you pick 22 people instead
Yeah.
of So those who are selected into the All Australian team
Yeah.
are given this like green and gold, like beautiful.
Oh, it's
blazer.
green. Really?
I think
It's green?
dark. I believe it's dark green.
Oh, I'll have to look again. It looked black
You
to
can
me.
look,
Yeah.
yeah.
It looked black.
Oh, it's
Who
kinda
else?
black, not green.
Yeah, it looks like Richmond. Who else from your team got it besides Charlie? I know the top, the 44. I know there were more of your guys, but did anyone else get All Australian from Carlton? No.
So, I'm glad you asked
Oh,
because who would you? So basically, what happens is every team will nominate players that they believe could be eligible for the team, and then
Okay.
there's an All Australian selection panel with a number of champions and the CEO and head of football and all of that are involved in the selection. And
Okay.
anyway, long story short, Jacob Wiedering did not get the All Australian blazer.
Shouldn't have gouged Toby's eye out last week. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bad boy.
Whoa. I don't know about that. He was not eye gouging. And also Toby Green punched Mitch McGovern in the balls and didn't get even cited for it. So
I mean,
anyway,
what's a little ball punching between friends?
little love tap.
Okay, so anyway, so he didn't get it.
So
All right.
Wiedering didn't get it, but Tom Stewart did. And this is where I find a bit of an argument. So last year, Wiedering had a year where he started off clearly in the best category of defender, and then he got injured and never was quite the same. He didn't
All right.
make the team, and I said, you know what, fair enough, didn't play finals, so therefore won't be rewarded. Now, this year, Tom Stewart had like half and half a year. Like, he was really, really good when he played, then he missed
Yeah.
a bit, but also Geelong, they stunk. They stunk it up
Yeah.
a little bit, and they didn't play finals. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like line ball. And I felt like if it's line ball and the team doesn't play finals, you shouldn't
Yeah.
be rewarded. And I was okay with that last year. But this year was different, and they didn't give it to Wiedering, and I thought, unfair.
Now I recall seeing a video of yours this morning,
Oh, yeah.
with Tom Stewart
Oh.
face, right? Did you put that up today?
That was a bit
Yeah,
cheeky.
it was cute. It was cute. I actually knew what was going on when I saw it. Yeah, I mean, but isn't it kind of a popular? I mean, in the 44, there were 5 Collingwood guys. Sam Taylor was somehow magically excluded from it. I don't know. Isn't it just like a popularity? Like, what does it mean, really? What does it mean? They don't actually play each other or other people. Like, what?
No.
Right?
No, they don't. But what it does is, if you are selected as an All-Australian and recognised as an All-Australian
Yeah.
player, I believe you get an incentive, contract-wise, financially. Also, you're in the history books as
It's like the Oscars. It's sort of like, it's kind of like, it sounds prestigious, but it's sort of like, all right.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a
I
wait.
don't know.
I mean, all players just want to win a premiership, and they
Yeah.
want that more than anything.
Yeah. So how did Toby get? So who decides on the captain? Like, how did that happen?
The selectors decide on the captain, I believe.
And the selectors are these like random group of. Are they coaches? Are they players? Are they?
They're, so it's made up of, I think, 5 or 6 former players that are champions of the game.
Okay.
The CEO, former Gil McLaughlin.
Yeah.
And Laura Kane. Do you know about Laura Kane? Have you heard about
she's
Laura
the
Kane?
new woman that's taking over, right? Right? Am I right?
She's the new executive general manager of football.
And what
so
does that mean?
So you
What
have the CEO,
Okay.
and then below the CEO you have, I believe it's 5 or 6 executives, and each executive handles a different part of the game. So you'll have the executive of commercial, the executive of legal, I don't know, and then you have the executive of football handles all things relating to the game. So the score review system, the rule changes, the AFLW, like anything related to the game, Laura is now in charge.
Under her umbrella. Okay. Got it. Go, Laura.
Yeah.
See if she can, get holding the ball back.
Yes. No, she's very good. Do you know I studied law with Laura?
You did?
Yeah, she's one of my best friends.
Oh, well, congratulate her from me. Some
and
random.
33 years old. Can you believe that?
Awesome. That's fantastic. Yeah. By the way, when you study law in Australia, do you have to specialize, or do you have to, like, are you just like a lawyer for anything, or is there, like it is here, corporate, civil, like is it divided up into categories when you study law?
So you study the broad law. I did the broad, like just the Bachelor of Laws, which is all the core elements. And then if you want to do further study into a particular area, you can.
Yeah.
But where you specialize is when you start practicing, and then you decide on an area that you actually really want to go deep down the rabbit hole of. And then you just continue practicing there. So
did you get to wear the hat, the wigs?
The wigs? Yeah, I did.
You did? Oh.
Yeah, I got a photo.
You need to send me a photo.
I got a photo and I'm like doing this and I'm like rocking out.
I know. The only thing I know about your legal system is from watching the show Rake, which I loved until it jumped the shark. You know that expression, right? Jump the shark?
No, tell me.
Okay, so back in the day, Happy Days, the Fonz, there was an episode where he jumped a shark tank with a motorcycle. And after that, much like the Falcon, it became like the thing for like when the show just started sucking. They call it Jump the Shark. So season 4 of Rake, I think, is where it jumped the shark. But up until that, oh my God, it was such a good show. Richard Roxbury. Is that his last name? Roxbury?
I don't know.
Don't tell me you haven't seen Rake and I'm American and you're Australian.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Terry. Oh, we're going to have to talk. We won't board.
I am less
You're like,
versed.
I only watch football. What are you talking about? TV
much.
shows? What?
I pretty much, I don't watch many TV shows. I don't remember the last series I watched. And
You
committed
guys
to.
have some good television. I'm telling you. You actually
Yeah?
have some real. Yeah, you have some really good shows. Like I already mentioned Rake. There's one on now called Wellamania, which is actually really good. There's obviously Kath and Kim was hysterical. Love that.
Yes.
And then there's another one about, what is it called? Flawed. It's about a woman who moves to England. She leaves Newcastle and then she loses all her money and has to come back. Another fantastic show. You have a lot of good shows that, like, when we can get our hands on them, we get very excited about watching Aussie television.
I feel like you know more about these shows than what I do.
I think I was Australian in a past life. I'm pretty sure. Like, I one day was listening to, what's your mate's name? Peter Allen? Peter Allen, right? I still call Australia my home. This is years ago. And I just started crying. Like, I remember, and I'm like, why am I crying? I don't understand what's happening to me, you know? And I'm like, I don't know. If there is a past life, I honestly think I had to have been Australian. I don't know.
Wow.
And last thing I want to tell you. I was at a barbecue on Sunday, and I was talking to this woman. I'd never met her before. She didn't know who I was. And I said, oh, I have this show on YouTube, and I talk about Australian football. I said either Australian football or AFL. And she goes, Aussie Rules? And I go, yeah, you know Aussie Rules? And she goes, yeah, because she used to work for a Irish station that broadcasted Gaelic football and Australian football. And so I actually met an American woman who knew what I was talking about. I think I applauded her. I'm not really sure, but she didn't say rugby. She didn't say soccer, you know, it was fantastic. So there's hope.
Love that.
There's hope
There
for
is
us.
hope.
Yeah.
One person at a time, we will bring this game.
That's
to everyone
right,
in the world.
man. World domination. Here it comes.
World domination. Well, Cindy Lou, guess what
Yes.
I'm doing today?
What?
Going to the Carlton Football Club to interview a player.
Oh my God. Who? Oh, is this going to be, can I say? We can't say.
By the
We
time
shouldn't say.
this is up on YouTube,
Yeah.
people will have hopefully seen it, but there is a
Let's
chance
not
it
say.
won't be.
Let's
No,
not say.
Let's
I
not
have
say.
an idea of who this is, right? He wants
We will
something. I think
see.
I know.
But
Awesome.
it's
Well,
been real.
pleasure speaking with you as always. And we will, I don't know what we'll talk about next week, but we'll figure it out, man. But
We'll
enjoy
figure it out.
your week off of watching football and do something fun.
Can't wait to get through this weekend, to be honest. So,
Patience.
Alrighty.
Patience, my friend. All right.
Cindy,
have a good
have a
day.
great
Talk to you
day.
soon. Bye.
Go
Mwah.
Blues.